the return of Palpatine. I haven't seen him in a long time. He took a very long break from the game. But with the Chaos Dwarf DLC coming out soon, it seems like a lot of our old friends are returning, creeping up out of the woodwork. So we have him versus Kalaus on Eschen. Never heard of Kalaus, but hopefully they're doing well. This Beastman versus Cathay. Cathay opting for their tried and true box. Now this is a weird box. It's not the normal that we see, with 5 Jade Warrior Halberds, 3 Celestial Dragon Guard, and then 5 Jade Warrior Crossbowmen, and then Miao Ying. That is weird. Normally you just see basic Jade Warriors, Peasant Long Spears in the back, and then you can have some cav or something. So it's definitely a very elite infantry box. It's like, it's in the spirit of what Cathay normally does, but very elite. For Miao Ying, we have Talons of Night, Earthblood, and Regrowth. Okay. On the other side, Khazrak, One Eye, on his Razor Gore Chariot, I believe. 5 Ungor Herds. Some of them are spears, some of them are not. Oh, wow. 7 total. Okay. Triple... I mean, if you include Khazrak, but whatever. Double Razor Gore Chariots. Interesting. Not the Tuskor Chariots, the more expensive Razor Gore variant. Then we have the Butchers of Calgard Minotaurs, the Jabber Scythe, and a Bratium of Death with Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna, and some Centaurs on the far flank. But yeah, it's gonna be tough for this Beastman build. They're gonna have to rely pretty heavily on the Jabber Scythe and Razor Gore Chariots. But Chariots aren't feeling the best in Warhammer 3, so we'll see how much they can really do about the Cathay box. A little bit of fast forward as both sides set up. Quick Fate of Buna onto this Jade Warrior Halberd. Looks like they're trying to loosen him up enough that they can just quickly get rid of him, shove their leadership off, and make a hole in the box and get into the center, but it's not usually how Cathay goes. Looks like it might succeed. Jade Warrior's just routing. Nice job. Khazrak has taken a good amount of damage, but he's given it back to Miao Ying a little bit. All right, go Khazrak, go. Razor Gore Chariots are in. They are starting to pile forwards, but they need to be careful never to get caught in melee combat, or every melee unit here is a halberd, and it's just going to take you out. You can see they are currently getting mulched a little bit. Centaurs fly in from behind. Khazrak got away from Miao Ying and is causing disruption all over, as the Jabber Scythe is going to dive into these Jade Warriors. But it does not start its dive animation, actually, so it doesn't really get that much damage out. The Talons of Night is going to consume this entire Ungor Spearman herd. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Razor Gores are doing their best to get through more Jade Warriors with halberds. But you can see they get kind of stuck on these halberds here, even while rear charging. Now they're getting shot by arrows and stuck in halberds. They're not going to have a good time. Jabber Scythe Mortis Engine effect is going off on anybody whose leadership dips sufficiently low. But with Cathay, that is a rare thing indeed. Some of these units are getting mortised occasionally, but most of them are staying chipper. Or staying cheerful. Now Miao Ying has taken a lot of damage, I think, from Khazrak. Yeah, because both of them have taken a lot. She can throw some regrowths on herself, but you have to transform to do so. One of the Razor Gore Chariots is pushed off. Another one is rejoining the fight with a mighty charge that does quite insignificant damage. The Butchers of Calgard are going in and out, charging around. So for Cathay, things are going alright. Bounce power is a little in the favor of the Beastman, but that's because Miao Ying hasn't yet thrown a giant regrowth on herself. That could change things. How are we doing with the crossbows? 3 of them are still in the fight. 4 of them are still in the fight. One's running away, but it doesn't look like there's any Beastman assets outside the box right now that can really afford to go and chase those things down. Oof, the Razor Gore Chariot that previously was so healthy is now running off. It has 1 model left, and Miao Ying got back in the sky away from the Butchers of Calgard. Butchers are coming in. Butchers are pissed. They say these Jade Warrior Crossmen, and they say, hey, you, we're going to kind of fuck up our charge, and yeah, we're here now. All right. Talons of Night on the far side is going to delete a Jade Warrior Halberd. A little bit of friendly fire there, but it takes 2 Beastmen with them. So I guess if that Jade Warrior was already dying anyway, probably worth. These 2 Centaurs do need to leave, probably. They're not winning in combat versus those high armor Jade Warrior crossbows, and what they could do instead is just go back and chase off anything that actually routes so it doesn't come back. Another Fate of Buna on the Jade Warrior Halberds. Surprisingly, not the Celestial Dragon Guard, wherever they are. Now, they have the exact same flag, so I think in the middle of combat, Palpatine might not even know that there are Celestial Dragon Guard, or he just might not have the time to go find them. He gets a charge on Miao Ying. He actually takes damage, and she doesn't. And he's just pushing her now while she throws a regrowth on herself. So overall, that is a terrible trade for Khazrak, unfortunately. Foot character things. Jabber Scythe causes a terror out in the backfield, and Centaurs are trying to capitalize on it, but it looks like that Jade Warrior Crossman is actually just going to rally of its own accord. Balance power is still dead even. Miao Ying very, very healthy now, and as each tick of that regrowth hits her, bounce power moves a little bit back towards Cathay. Beastman. Butcher's a Calcagard, very healthy. Jabberscythe, healthy enough, like considering how late in the game it is. Half health on a big monster like that is pretty good. Khazrak is quite injured, though. The Beastman caster is fine, and the Razor Gore Chariots have seen a lot better days. This one's down to 3 models out of 4. That one's down to 1 out of 4. And Miao Ying's trying to snipe the caster right now. For Cathay, we do have Celestial Dragon Guard and Jade Warrior Halberds that are very healthy. And in the back, some Celestial Dragon Guard that are quite wounded, and other Celestial Dragon Guard that are straight up dead. So it's mostly Miao Ying and Halberds now. A lot of the archers are out of the game as far as anything goes. Miao Ying fighting with Khazrak, who is doing some decent ass kickery on her. She throws down another Earthblood on herself, healing back up. Celestial Dragon Guard doing their best to fight, but they have lost Harmony. There's no range units nearby to give them that Harmony bonus. And Celestial Dragon Guard, even before Immortal Empires, I don't know, man. These guys just don't feel like they do anything. They have really high melee defense, but it feels like Peasant Long Spears for some reason have an easier job attacking than the Celestial Dragon Guard do, and I can't tell you why. It's just my experience is like, for some reason, Peasant Long Spears feel like they do higher DPS. Everywhere you look, Cathay units are routing. It is the last blob. Some Jade Warriors and Celestial Dragon Guard chilling next to Miao Ying. Khazrak gets away with 270 HP. His route does take him to safety. We have some rallying Beastman troops in the distance. They are coming back. And now Miao Ying transforms into Dragon. It's really up to her. If she can kill the Butchers of Calcagard, she can win this game. But if she just gets surrounded by those Minos and beaten to death, it's going to be a really bad time. Now, she is taking a fight on her own terms. She's surrounded by her men, her Celestial Dragon Guard and Jade Warrior Halberd, so that is very good. More Celestial Dragon Guard coming back to the fight, and they're getting charged by the Minotaurs. They did not have their braced charge defense. They did not, stand still when they got charged. Also, I'm noticing that they don't have... I don't think they have formation attack on, because their melee defense is too low. If they had formation attack on, it would be much higher. So that is unfortunate. Like, across all things, you want formation attack on. Actually, now I'm curious. Yeah, 43. Yeah, so they turned formation attack off, which is a big mistake. That might be how the Halberd line faltered so quickly, because formation attack, it makes your models perform a little janky, but that's fine for infantry. Infantry will get it done anyway, and it gives you like 8 melee defense, which is a lot. A lot. So that does explain how the Cathay box is falling apart. Now it is just Miao Ying, as everything else is terror routing or routing off the map entirely. Bounce power shifts heavily against her. The Butchers of Calcagard are extremely healthy, and the Jabberscythe is even doing just fine. So there's no way Miao Ying can carry this. She is even about to break, and that is the end of that. Khazrak wins it all, and he actually got pretty good value for himself, considering. Jabberscythe did great. Butchers of Calcagard did excellently. Spirit Leech Caster / Bunicaster did fantastically well. Razor Gore's actually got more value than even I would have expected, but Chariots in general are not feeling so hot right now, so it was bold to take them. You can kind of see why we're in the box meta, with High Elves and Grand Cathay. Now, High Elves and Grand Cathay don't have to play in a box, but frequently you'll see it. Dwarves too, that kind of thing. It's because Chariots aren't strong. And even here, when Chariots are weak and they aren't doing that much damage as they should and they get caught on stuff, like, you can still kind of see why the meta hasn't always been boxes and stuff. It's like, when Chariots are strong, they can get fucked up by monsters, they can get fucked up by cav, but if you have just infantry in your build, Chariots can roll over everything, go wherever they want to do, and do a lot of damage. So hopefully we see those buffed someday. Not so much that they become toxic, but just enough that they become viable. It really gives a lot of counterplay to rush factions versus boxes. And even then, they're not in their strongest state right now, but when properly used, that they still apparently do enough, right? So good job, Palpatine, showing that. For Kalaus, not a ton to talk about. Not trying to be a dick, just saying boxes don't have a ton of... They're a low agency style of play, so it's like, if you build a box properly, whether you win or lose is more based on how many mistakes your opponent makes rather than how many mistakes you make, because it's a low agency game style, so you don't have a lot of decisions to make, so it's hard to make wrong decisions when you're not making a lot of decisions. Outside of that, his Meow Yang was good. It was running around trying to stop stuff. There was just too many things to stop, but she did get good value. She didn't get sniped out or anything. Good transformations. Got his healing out, so he did well in that. I would say turn formation attack on and stuff, but probably just turn the Jade Warrior Halberds into Jade Warriors. Turn the Celestial Dragon Guard into some Peasant Long Spears, and then get yourself a couple Jade Lancers to countercharge Centigores and chase off anything that routes and just be a nuisance. I think you'll find that a little more effective. Celestial Dragon Guard, I don't know why, they just feel like poop, so probably don't take them, but it's neat to see them every once in a while. GG. Roar.
Subscribe, yes, yes.